Welcome to the sixth video on section 4 of Hume's inquiry concerning human understanding. In the last video, we began looking at the third step in Hume's argument, the step where he tries to establish that all conclusions from experience are not founded on reason. We saw in that step, remember, that in order to show that all conclusions from experience are not founded on reason, Hume needed to show that these conclusions were not founded intuitively, demonstratively, or on probable reasoning. And in particular, we saw that if Hume's opponent could establish that the future resembles the past, well, then there would be a kind of probable inference, right? A kind of demonstrative connection that relies on past experience between 1, 2, and 3, and 4, right? And so if Hume's opponent could establish that FRP is certain, then we would have a demonstrative connection. And in this video, we're going to look at Hume's argument for why the future resembles the past cannot be established with certainty. And so why we don't have a demonstrative connection between 1, 2, and 3. We don't have an instance of probable reasoning. Okay. So the key question is, how could we establish that the future resembles the past? I mean, how could Hume's opponent go about doing this? Well, what kind of knowledge do we have of the future resembles the past? And what kind of object of human reason is it? Is the future resembles the past a matter of fact, or is it a relation of ideas? Well, it's a statement about the way the world is, the way in which facts are actually connected together. And it's not a priori, right? So because it's a fact about the world, it's not something that's necessary, that holds independently of the world. Further, we can conceive of the futures resembling the past not holding. We can imagine the futures not resembling the past. And so by both of our tests, it's a prioriness or it's being able to conceive of the opposite, it seems to be a matter of fact. Seems to be a matter of fact. And so it seems that it cannot be known intuitively or demonstratively. But we do know that the future resembles the past. Right? That is something that we believe. We believe that the future resembles the past. This is a belief everybody has, and we must have, Hume thinks. And the question is how? Well, the future resembles the past is a fact about what has been the case in the past and how it's related to the future. So, what kind of knowledge of matters of fact is it? Well, is it something that we sense? No, it doesn't seem like we sense FRP. Is it something that we remember? Well, I remember that in the past, the future resembled the past, right? I have this memory that in the past, the future resembled the past. But that's in the past. It's dead and gone, right? Just like my past experience of drinking water and my thirst being quenched was in the past, dead and gone. And so it doesn't seem like I can establish that right now the future resembles the past only on the basis of my past experience, but in the past, the future resembles the past. I can't remember the future, for example, right? And so because I can only remember what happened in the past, that the future resembled the past in the past, the futures resembling the past in the past is not going to establish my belief right now that the future resembles the past. So it's not, memory is not going to be sufficient. Okay, well, so it's not intuitive, it's not demonstrative. I don't know it through sensation, I'm not presently sensing it, and I'm not remembering it in the past because the past is past and it's about the future and what I believe right now, right? So it's a fact about what has been the case in the past and how this is related to the future. So to establish it, in part, we do need to look to past experience. What past experience? Well, if you'd said the past experience that the future resembled the past in the past, you would be right. But that past experience, as we just saw, only tells us about the past. And so how do we know that the principle that the future will resemble the past will hold into the future? How do we infer from our past experience that the future resembles the past to the fact that the future resembles the past obtains right now? Right, so what do we have? Well, we've got past experience of the future resembles the past, the future resembles the past, the future resembles the past. But how do I then get to my present belief that the future resembles the past? How can I justify that belief? How do I establish that belief? Well, I need something that'll connect up this past experience with this present belief, right? That'll get me from the past to the present. What could do the trick? Pause the video, think about it. Take a second. How could my past experience be relevant to my present belief that the future resembles the past? My past experience of the future is resembling the past in the past. Well, what if I had a further belief that connected up the two? Right, so with the drinking water thirst being quenched case, the thing that connected my past experience of the thirst being quenched and the drinking water in the past to my drinking water right now and my thirst being quenched in the future right? The thing that connected up this past experience and let me draw this inference was the future resembles the past, right? And we saw that if I could know the future resembles the past, well, then we would have a bit of probable reasoning that could get us to my thirst being quenched upon my drinking water through the medium of past experience and the future is resembling the past, right? So the past experience would be like the present. And because of that, when I drink water right now, my thirst will be quenched. And so here, the future resembles the past was the medium that could get me from my drinking water, my thirst being quenched. And now here, what's the medium that could get me from my past experience of the future resembling the past to my present belief that the future resembles the past? Well, if I could know that the future resembles the past, right, that would do the trick. So if I could know that if the future is resemble the past, then it'll continue to do so, right? So if I could know the future resembles the past, and then apply that to my past experience that the future resembles the past in the past, well, then that would get me to the belief that right now the future resembles the past, right? So that would do the trick. So if I could know the future resembles the past, and from my past experience that the future resembles the past, I could get to my present belief that the future resembles the past. But what's wrong? What's wrong with this? What's Hume going to say is the problem? What's Hume going to say is the problem? Well, this is circular, right? We wanted to establish that the future resembles the past. But we've had to presuppose that the future resembles the past in order to establish that the future resembles the past. And so the connection between past experience of the future is resembling the past in the past, and the conclusion that right now the future resembles the past is itself based on the principle that the future resembles the past, and that begs the question. That presupposes that the future resembles the past in the explanation of why the future resembles the past. We're using the very principle, the future resembles the past, that we're trying to prove in the demonstration of it, right? So we're reasoning in a circle. We're trying to establish the future resembles the past on the basis of the future resembles the past. And if Euclid did this, then everybody would be very angry with him. His proofs wouldn't work. And so we can't get a demonstrative connection between cause and effect this way, through a bit of probable reasoning based on the future resembles the past, because that would presuppose the future resembles the past in the very proof of it. And so we can't establish the future resembles the past as intuitive, as demonstrative. Why? Well, because it's the truth about the world. We can't sense it, right? We can't see right now or feel that the future resembles the past. We can't remember that right now the future resembles the past, because you can't remember the present. And so all that's left is establishing it as an immediate matter, or as immediate knowledge of a matter of fact through an inference. Well, how do we establish immediate knowledge of matters of fact through inferences? Well, we do it through principles like the future resembles the past. Well, what would the relevant past experience be? Well, it would be the past experience that the future resembles the past, and we'd be trying to justify or show that our present belief that the future resembles the past works as a bit of probable reasoning. And so we would want to justify our present belief on the basis of this past experience through the principle that the future resembles the past. But that was the very thing we were trying to prove. And so we can't establish it through a bit of probable reasoning. And so the future resembles the past can't be intuitive. It can't be demonstrative. We can't sense it. We can't remember it. It can't be known through probable reasoning. And because we can't establish it in any of these ways, we can't be certain of it. And so we can't know through reason things that are founded on experience, because we can't justify this belief in the right kind of way. And so it can't be through reason that we have knowledge of immediate matters of fact. And so now we're ready to draw the conclusion, right? Hume's skeptical conclusion. We've done all three of the steps. So we can say that since first, all conclusions concerning matters of fact are founded on the relation of cause and effect, and second, all conclusions concerning the relation of cause and effect are founded on experience, and finally, third, all conclusions from experience are not founded on reason, either by intuitive relations of ideas or demonstrative ones or probable reasoning. Therefore, all conclusions concerning matters of fact are not founded on reason, demonstrative, intuitive, or probable. And that's it. That's the argument.